So good evening everyone. Today we will complete the digestion part that is digestion and absorption. So what exactly occur in digestion that we are going to study, and then we are going to study about the digestive disorders. So during the digestion of food, digestion is a complete chemical process. Apart from that, these chemical process, there will be physical part of digestion also present, which is known as mastication. So physical part of digestion is done by teeth. It is going to break down the big food particles into small food particles. But still those food particles are not microscopic biomolecules. So you need to convert them into microscopic biomolecule part, which is possible only by chemical breaking down of the bonds of carbohydrate, proteins and lipids, nucleic acids. Okay. So mastication means chewing. Deglutition means swallowing of the food, and peristalsis, as we already discussed, is the rhythmic contraction and expansion of whole digestive system to move the food towards the end. Now this food is consumed after consumption. When it is masticated and mixed with saliva and mucus, that food is known as bolus. Whereas the acidic food that is passing from stomach to the small intestine is known as chyme, CHYM. So in buccal cavity or mouth, only small part of it is digested actually. So only digestion of food that is occurring in case of buccal cavity is starch. Here, ptyalin or salivary amylase will break down 30% of the starch into maltose and isomaltose plus limit dextrine. These limit dextrines are known as isodextrin and acrodextrin. Now, in stomach, pepsinogen will be getting activated to pepsin via HCl, and now this pepsin will break down protein into proteoses and peptones. Apart from that, there will be some amount of pancreatic lipase is present. They will also break down the lipid. Now, I must say, stomach is the area where food can be there for 4 to 5 hours. Okay, that's why it is suggested after eating food, you should not immediately sleep. You should take a stroll of a few hours. You should awake. You should be physically a bit active. Then it will be helpful for digestion. In stomach, in infant, like in case of those people, like babies which are dependent on milk, casein is converted into paracasein, and paracasein converted into calcium paracasinate, and then calcium paracasinate is broken down to peptone. So apart from that, you need to understand that HCl is responsible for breaking down of the prorenin to renin. So this is all about stomach. Now we will be talking about digestion of food in small intestine. Mostly the digestion of food is done in duodenum, and ileum and jejunum is for absorption of the food. So this chyme is mixed with bile juice, pancreatic juice as well as intestinal juice. Mixture of these three are called succus entericus. How bile works. Beautiful picture represents that fat globuli, which is very big in size, mix up with the bile salt to give emulsified fat droplets. That means each of these bile salt will surround the fat droplets and doesn't allow them to again form a group. You must have seen, हम अगर एक glass पानी में if we are adding 1 teaspoon of oil into a glass of water and shake it, the fat droplets actually break down. But if you allow it to settle down for some time, it will again come back and form an aggregate. Okay. So why? Because fats attract each other. All of them are having hydrophobic part due to which they form a big fat droplet. Now, what happens is, here in this case, emulsification is a process where you can see that bile salts are surrounding small droplets. So they are hiding the part through which the small fat droplets can combine to form the bleak globule. That's why it is promoting the emulsification. Okay. Understood the emulsification concept, beta? Great. So, action of pancreatic juice. So, pancreas secrete amylopsin, which is the pancreatic amylase. It will like break down the remaining starch into small disaccharides, that is maltose, isomaltose, and limit-dextrin. Apart from that, there is trypsinogen present, which is getting activated by the entry of enterokinin in the picture. Trypsinogen will be modified to trypsin. Chymotrypsinogen will form chymotrypsin. Now, see, trypsin directly converting chymotrypsinogen to chymotrypsin. Apart from that, procarboxypeptidase also gets activated form called carboxypeptidase in presence of trypsin. Now these trypsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase will digest all protein, peptones and proteoses into dipeptides. Dipeptides means 2 amino acids will be there. Fats will be broken down into monoglycerides by lipases. It will be very easy for you people to understand what is dipeptide, what is monoglycerides, because now you are aware of the chapter biomolecules. Riva, you have to see the video of biomolecules chapters to understand this part. Now, nucleases will break down nucleic acid into nucleotides. You know that there are nucleotidase and nucleosidase. They will break down them accordingly. In intestinal juice, these dipeptidases, which were done by carboxypeptidase and trypsin, these dipeptides formed by them will be broken down into amino acid by dipeptidase. Maltose will be broken down into glucose. Lactose will be broken down into glucose by lactase. Same for sucrose, sucrase. Nucleotide, nucleotidase. Nucleoside will be broken down into sugar and bases. The diglyceride, monoglycerides, whatever lipases will work on them further to form fatty acid and glycerol. Now the food is ready to go for absorption. Large intestine actually is not at all helpful in digestion of food. Its main function is absorption of water and minerals. It is in our body, certain drugs are absorbed by large intestine also. And its main function is to produce stool. Whatever undigested and unabsorbed material is coming to it, it will form it will with the help of mucus, it will form a stool from it. Okay. So first food, when it is entering after mastication, we call it bolus. In stomach, chyme, and in intestine, we call it chyle. So depending on which part food is, same food or different stages of digestion have different names. You have to remember these names. Okay. Now, these foods are digested very well, but they should be having some kind of control. Unnecessary secretion of enzymes are of no use. So there are neural and hormonal mechanisms. Like if we you must have noticed, जैसे ही हमारे पास खाने की खुशबू आती है या अच्छे कच्चे खाने की बात स्टार्ट हो जाती है, जैसे अभी मैं अगर पानी पूरी की बात बोलूं, आई डोंट नो अबाउट प्रियांशु, सभी लड़कियों के मुंह में पानी आ जाता है कि नहीं बेटा?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ऐसा लगता है आप चटका चटपटा. So that thing is responsible for salivary secretion. Apart from that, there are hormones. I told you about gastrin and others. They control the secretion of food. Absorption of digestive products. Now, only digestion is not enough. They have to reach to the correct part, and for that they need to reach to the bloodstream, because blood is going to carry them. So you can see that digestion, post digestion, the next part is absorption. So absorption is of two types. All of you know that it is passive and active. Can anyone tell me what is passive, what is active for Riva? Class?
Ma'am, it is the type of absorption where it requires ATP.
Active absorption is something where we need ATP. And passive absorption is something where it occurs as if its own. It doesn't require ATP because it is towards the concentration gradient. To maintain the balance, it will always move from high concentration to low concentration. Okay. So in this case, you can see the absorption from higher to low. If it is occurring by simple method, we call it diffusion. If some protein is involved there, it is called facilitated diffusion, and both of them are called passive transport. Okay. So absorption of water and diffusion of solute molecules are way of absorption. Now diffusion can be further subdivided, as I mentioned, by simple diffusion. In this case, small amount of monosaccharides, that is glucose, amino acids, vitamins, electrolytes like chlorine, they get from intestine to bloodstream via diffusion method. And glucose mostly and amino acid mostly are transported via facilitated diffusion. So there are specific carrier protein which transport them. Now it's not always necessary that there will be always movement from high concentration to low concentration. There can be chances where it can be low to high. Certain amino acids may be present in intestine in low amount, in blood it is high amount. In such cases, it will be requiring some energy, which those typical amino acids, and in case if it is glucose, those can be transported by active transport, and in electrolyte sodium is absorbed by active transport. So absorption of lipid by its own mean is a challenge because they are not soluble in water. So bile salts and phospholipid convert them into micelles via emulsification method. Now there will be formation of chylomicron. So what is this chylomicron? Chylomicrons are fat globules which are covered by protein. So they are fat globule, सेंटर में फैट रहता है, चारों ओर उनके प्रोटीन रहते हैं. So they are transported via lacteals. What are these lacteals? Lacteals means lymph vessel. So हमारी बॉडी के फैट आफ्टर एब्जॉर्प्शन ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ फैट is done by lymph, and then from lymph it will go to the blood. Okay, so that is how it is done. You can see the whole process present here. Fatty acids are going there. They are going to Golgi bodies of each and every cells with microvilli. You can see Golgi body is responsible for coating these fat droplets into a protein covering. And finally, they will go to lymph transport, and then directly it cannot go to blood, it will go to blood via lymph. Okay, so these are the things which are absorbed in some part of digestive system. Certain specific drugs are absorbed in mouth. In stomach, water, some simple sugar, some drugs, some alcohol, all of them are absorbed in stomach. All nutrients including minerals and vitamins are transported in small intestine. In large intestine, water, some amount of minerals and drugs are transported. And then while small intestine is the chief part of absorption, the reason is mentioned here. You can see that in case of small intestine, it has villi, which is increasing the surface area very much. Small intestine, although called small, it is largely coiled structure. So इतना coiled है कि time मिल जाता है तुम लोगों को that food can have enough time to pass in small intestine and get digested. Okay, so after digestion, I told you absorption, and then this food is used by getting assimilated. That means the proteins I am absorbing will be part of my cell membrane. This process is assimilation. Undigested substances like plant fiber, dead bacteria, all of them form fecus or feces or fecal matter. Now they will pass to cecum via ileocecal valve. Ileum and cecum, in between that there is a valve called ileocecal valve. This valve will ensure that stool should stay in cecum. It should not go back to the ileum. After that, the stool will go to the rectum, and finally it will go out via anus. And this process is called egestion or defecation. Now we will talk about the disorders of digestion. Quickly we will talk. There are several disorders. First of all, jaundice. In jaundice, जिसे आप पीलिया बोलते हो, इसमें सभी की बॉडी में पीलापन छा जाता है. Why? There are bile pigments which are called bilirubin and biliverdin. These bilirubin and biliverdin increase in the body in certain field because liver is getting infected, and liver is responsible for production of bile juice. अगर किसी का liver काम नहीं करेगा तो क्या होगा बेटा? Can you tell me? There will be no fat digestion. So many other things will stop. So this will be leading to jaundice. Treatment is in jaundice, a person have fever, vomiting, weakness. It can be treated. It's not death claiming, but if it is hepatitis B, it is a deadly jaundice. Then there can be vomiting. If we are not feeling comfortable after eating any kind of food, it will be coming out of the stomach via ejection method, and it is controlled by medulla oblongata of our brain, which is part of our hindbrain. Then there will be diarrhea. If any bacteria, there are bacteria which are causing diarrhea. There are protozoa like amoeba, entamoeba histolytica causing diarrhea. If any one of them enter into our digestive system, they will cause frequent elimination of watery feces. Along with this elimination of feces, you can have vomiting too. In this case, food absorption is reduced, digestion is affected, and a person will have dehydration. तो किसी को डायरिया होता है, जैसे रोटा वायरस इन्फेक्शन बहुत खतरनाक होता है, स्पेशली इन चिल्ड्रन. A person need to take ORS. The person need to take healthy food, not too spicy one, and the person need to keep himself or herself hydrated. ताकि ORS क्या है? I hope you know, oral rehydration solution, which is having salt, sugar, and water. Constipation is exactly opposite to the diarrhea. इसमें स्टूल बहुत ज्यादा ड्राई होने की वजह से, पेरिस्टाल्टिक मोशन प्रॉपर ना होने की वजह से ये प्रॉब्लम होती है. कॉन्स्टिपेशन, स्टूल जनरली आसानी से निकलता नहीं है. तो इसका उपाय क्या है? देयर इज अ टर्मिनोलॉजी विच इज कॉल्ड रफेज. हम वेजिटेबल्स या बाकी चीजें नहीं खाते, अगर एवरीथिंग इन फूड इज रिक्वायर्ड, vegetable have something that we cannot digest called cellulose. This will increase the bulk of stool. This will make the passage of stool easy. So one should is roughage, नहीं तो isabgul खाना पड़ता है, which will act as a roughage. Next is indigestion. इसमें digestion proper ना होने की वजह से जलन होती है सीने में, acidity जिसे हम बोलते हैं. ये कई रीजन से हो सकता है. inadequate enzyme secretion, stress, anxiety, food poisoning, spicy food, या फिर आप अगर रात भर जाग रहे हो, you are not getting enough sleep, then also you can have indigestion. Last disorders, protein energy malnutrition, it is known as Marasmus and Kwashiorkor. This is observed in poor people. They have enlarged abdomen and body's other part are very thin, and they have problem like as if whole life is suspended, because protein is required for so many things, and if that is not there, then they will have utter problem in their normal livelihood. Up to a certain time they get it because they get milk of mother, but if mother is not getting proper food, then that milk is of no use. And in higher grade like age, Marasmus, which is observed here, will have thin limbs, dry wrinkled skin, declined growth rate, and very deformed kind of body with malfunction of brain. Kwashiorkor is also protein deficiency disorder, and in this case also the swelling of the body parts is observed. That's all from my side, and we successfully completed the chapter called digestion and absorption. So next day we will meet for doubts, and then we will continue with the next chapter. Okay, students, bye to all of you, beta. Bye.